Let's go.
Let's go, baby. It's bowl game week. I'll be out there in 2 days. I'm hyped to join you, bro. But what's it been like?
Bro, first of all, you never know how much you love and appreciate your squad until you're without them. Like every single time we've been on the road, except for, I guess, one day in New York, but at least I still had RG and Allie there for that. I've been with the squad, and it goes all the way back to, man, like the 2017 or 2018 Broncos season, the last time I've truly been on the road solo. And Neely's here too, but he's been busy, and so we haven't really been able to hang out. But, man, do I miss the squad. It is I need you guys to hurry up and get your asses out here. I know it's Christmas, but I need you guys.
Soon enough, but I will expedite the trip to get there as fast as I can. What have you been doing without us? What's been going on?
Nothing really. I mean, yesterday I just walked around all day. I talked about that when I was on here. Then went out and went to the team hotel for the press conference. There is a elite lobby bar at the team hotel. So excited for you guys to come check that out. The people here have been super nice. I don't know if you saw this, but the Alamo Bowl tweeted at me because I said they were like, next drink's on us, and I thought that was just a joke from the social media person. Bro, I show up today to practice. Someone just comes over to me, hands me a $25 gift card to the bar right next to the team hotel.
Let's go, man. They just know ball. They recognize ball knowers when they're out there,
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh shit, you guys weren't joking about that. So next, at least 2 drinks, and they probably got a deal on Coors Lights over there. So I'm gonna make that $25 last.
Let's go. That's awesome. What was the team showed up last night? You had a press conference. What really happened after you left yesterday?
Yeah, so team showed up. They had a cool mariachi band there to greet them. I mentioned it on the show yesterday, but Mama T and all the team, as someone pointed out to me, Derek Merkel was involved. A lot of people involved in making that place. Brent DePape, a lot of people involved in making that place look amazing. So they did an incredible job just setting that up. And then we had the press conference, and I thought it was a good presser. We learned a lot. We'll get to a couple of clips from it later, but one thing that I think I just want to get out in front of and talk about was the question I asked Coach Prime about kind of the bowl junk surrounding Travis. And I don't expect everyone to necessarily agree with the fact that I asked it, but I at least want people to understand kind of my thought process on why I did. Kind of 3 main things here. 1, a lot of people are concerned about Travis. And so, Coach Prime, he did what he often does, which is he starts answering the question before it's finished. But the last few words of my question were going to be, how is he doing? And that to me, I think was something that people are interested in and important. And obviously we care a lot about Travis, and other people, the whole fan base cares about Travis. 2 is, I feel like people listen when Coach Prime speaks on these types of things. And so I didn't know what he was going to say, but I had a feeling that it would be good, whatever he had to say. And I think his message in the answer was obvious, right? Let's focus on the good and stay away from the bowl junk. And then finally, the last one was, I felt like, let's get this out of the way on Monday. Because as the week goes on, more and more people are going to be here, whoever. And, I feel like now that Coach Prime has shut it down, there's not an opportunity for someone else to come in and talk about it as we get closer to the game. Again, no one has to agree with that, but that is my thought process. And I thought, it wasn't just off the cuff. I thought long and hard, and that was the decision I made. And, I obviously didn't reference anything directly, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like you said, people care about Travis. We care about Travis. I don't think you were fishing for anything. You were genuinely asking, how is Travis doing? This is terrible. What's going on, basically. It wasn't like you were trying to, poke at it a wound or anything with this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I that was what I decided to do. And people said like, oh, Coach Prime is going to be mad at you or whatever. I can assure you, because I had an interaction with Coach Prime right after the press conference regarding it, and I won't get into the details of it, but he was not upset by it or anything even close to that.
This whole thing is just crazy. It's weird. It's social media at its absolute worst, and it can't end fast enough, honestly.
100%. I mean, we're not going to ever get into the gossip and the drama and all that shit on this show, but I just wanted people, that's what we do on the shows. We're an open book. I wanted people to at least understand where I was coming from. And again, if you don't agree with that, that's okay. You don't have to.
Yep. And we'll leave it at that. The headline though, how Coach Prime is like saving, what bowl games actually mean, what they used to mean in college football, because this is completely different. I mean, he is literally leaning completely against the wave that has been happening the last 5-10 years when it comes to bowl games, however long it is.
Yeah. And just for people who haven't been as close to college football over the past 10 years or so, and, whatever, 10 years ago or more, going to a bowl game meant something. Going to any bowl game meant something. And now, with the 12-team playoff and just as things have evolved with opt-outs and whatever, the bowl game has kind of lost it. Maybe there's too many bowl games. I think some people would disagree. But, back in the day, going to a bowl game meant something. And going to the Alamo Bowl really meant something. This is it was voted by several different sources as the number one non-CFP bowl game. Back then, these bowl games mattered. And teams were proud to go to a bowl game. And now, with dunk culture and everything on the internet, everyone wants to, oh, you're going to the toilet bowl, this, that, or the other. They're trying to downplay it. And I have so much respect and so much appreciation for what Coach Prime has done. Because I think legitimately, and, haters are going to say I'm overblowing this, but I think Coach Prime is saving the bowl game. With the 12-team playoff, it's eventually going to be a 16-team playoff. The bowl game is, if not losing its shine, I'm worried going to go away entirely eventually. And a big part of that is because teams haven't treated it like it means anything, with especially their best players not playing in the game. And so I want to get to the players, but more than that, it's the plane. Coach Prime goes all out with the plane. And I heard today that they were actually supposed to have even crazier, cooler branding all over the plane, but they were able to get Colorado and the buff on the back, and it looks sick. It's a Rolls-Royce plane. I think there's 280 people on that plane. So,
Jeez.
It wasn't just players. It was every player on the team. It was coaches. It was coaches' families. It was staffers, around the team and their families, making this a big thing, making this a holiday event, making everyone feel like this is, something special. It's the way that Colorado approached decorating the hotel. I know that sounds silly, but it's something that makes it cool. When you get here and you walk in and you look and there's Colorado everywhere, the team's going to get a cool package of gifts from the bowl game. You really lean into that. And all of that culminates in Colorado and Coach Prime specifically making sure that the best players are going to play in this game. Everyone would have understood, and I don't think anyone would have blamed Coach Prime if he said, hey, look, these guys are going to the league. They're going to be the number 1 and number 2 overall pick. We've got a couple other guys who are going to the NFL. We're not going to risk anything. These guys are going to play. I think everyone would have just said, yeah, we understand, tip your cap, whatever. I mean, not everyone. They would have found a way to hate. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying. By making sure that everyone plays in this game, it is bringing tourism to San Antonio. It is bringing viewership to the game and legitimately taking what could have been just another bowl game and making this one legitimately special and appointment television from everyone, for NFL scouts to casual football fans who are just sitting at home.
I mean, I love it, man. It seems like the whole team has stepped up, and really, it's going back to when Coach Prime was hired, the elevation of CU just as a football school over the last 2 years. And this is just a big example of that too. I mean, there is a lot of talk, what do bowl games mean? What's the point of even playing in them? But if like you have to go make it mean something, which is exactly what Coach Prime and Colorado are doing. Even if it's just because they want to play for Coach Prime one more time, they just making it mean something, and doing more than just saying, oh, it's just an extra game. So it's awesome. It's great to see. I can't wait to get out there and kind of soak it all up, because it feels like even the players they've already gotten the message, really. I know we'll get into practice and all that. Coach Hart said it was a bit flat today at practice, but it just seems like everyone's really just stepped up to the challenge, if you will, and just, really taking this opportunity with both hands, and they're just really grateful for it.
Exactly. And again, I mean, you said it, in more ways than one, this team controls the way that people feel about things. They kind of control the culture of college football.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Prime has even greater influence than that. And so if Coach Prime says this matters, everyone perks their ears up and says, okay, I guess this matters then. And I love it. And I also think that there's a true football aspect to it. I think Coach Prime truly believes when he says that teams who just, thumb their nose at the bowl game and get their asses kicked, I think it hurts them moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he believes in that. The other thing that we've talked about is the benefit of these young players being here. And we'll get to a clip of that later. If those guys, showed up here with the team and watched practice and everyone's just dilly-dallying around, the best players are on the sideline, what message does that send them about what the standard is here?
Right.
And Micah Welch referenced that today. He just said Coach Prime has a different standard. He expects everyone to play and everyone to play well. And for those guys who are trying to, get their bearings and see what it means to be a Colorado Buffalo, they're getting sent a clear message. And, I wasn't inside practice today, but, you could see in a little bit from where we were waiting for everyone. And you could obviously hear, as you always can, like Coach Prime wasn't messing around. He was running that like a real practice. He expects this team to go out there and win this football game. And this is not a vacation for these football players.
You're absolutely right. This is a business trip. And that's been really the mentality, I think, since the Oklahoma State game even. I mean, Coach Prime was consistent in saying, we still got one more. We still got the bowl game, still got one more. So it's just doing that from the beginning, from the get-go, really permeates through the team. And great point with the young players too, because I think that's really the most important. Obviously you want to win the game, you want to send the guys off right. That, to me, that's the most important part of what's going on right now, is the continuing to lay the foundation of the culture of Colorado football, what it means to be a Colorado Buffalo, to wear that helmet and play for Coach Prime here. So they're getting that full hand. And it's going to pay dividends, I think, greatly in the future. I mean, not even in the future, in 8 months from now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think that players will look around and, I haven't heard much about opt-outs as much this year. And I think some of that might have to do with the fact that Travis and Shedeur are playing. And moving forward into future bowl games, I think that that'll be something that's brought up. Not only internally when coaches are saying, hey, look, we'll, you should play because these guys played. But I just think players will look around and say, a lot of these guys look up to Travis and Shedeur. And I think a lot of them are going to say, like, okay, if those guys are playing, I'm playing too. And, hopefully these guys will do nothing but help their stock. And I guess the last point on this will kind of segue into our next segment where we can start with the clip. But Colorado, and Rick George and Coach Prime and everyone involved, making sure that these guys are protected, because everyone acknowledges the fact that it is a risk. It is an extra game. It's not for seeding or for a championship. It is for a trophy, which I think is worth something. But for Colorado to step in and provide great, an even higher level of insurance than they already provide for these players, I think is a great message to send around the country. One, that this can be done, it should be done, and it sends a message to the players that says, hey, we're not asking you to do something for nothing in return. We're going to make sure that we have your back and you're covered as well.
Yeah, great stuff. Dave with a good comment. I mean, all the other stuff ain't relevant. 10 wins. I mean, getting to 10 wins, if you win this game, that's also like a relevant benchmark, and just, the context of the program just in total. And then Clint also said, I mean, Washington and Texas played in the Alamo Bowl, and they kind of catapulted from there into the CFP into being national powers. So you never know what kind of effect that a bowl game can have if you just put everything into it, really like everyone used to.
Exactly, and like you said, like everyone used to. I mean, this, maybe there's some bowl games way down the list that you could say, okay, well, this doesn't really have any tradition or any special meaning around it. The Alamo Bowl is not one. This is one that has been around forever and truly used to mean something when you got invited to this bowl game. And I think that Colorado and Coach Prime are doing a great job getting back to that.
All right, let's get to press conferences, but first we'll take a break. Shout out to the homies over at Live Well. I'm not living too well right now because I'm not in Colorado.
Uh-oh.
But I'll be back soon enough to see my homies over at Live Well. They got 25 Colorado locations. They're everywhere out there. Great staff, super friendly, super knowledgeable, willing to help you find exactly what you need. They also offer a price match guarantee, ensuring you get the best value by matching local competitors' prices on eligible products. Go ahead, put in a mobile order. That's super quick and easy. Just walk in, show your ID, pay, and you're out the door. Or if you want to go in and shop, make sure you mention the code DNVR25 when you're in store. You'll receive 25% off one regular priced item. Some restrictions apply. Shout out to the homies over at Live Well.
So funny because my Uber driver this morning was talking all about how he wants to go to Colorado so he can live well. And I was like, oh, yeah, and you can come and bet on sports too. And he was like, oh, that's sick. He actually brought up Sleeper. He was like, well, we can't do Sleeper picks. I'm like, you're right. But you don't have Bet365. And Bet365, it's the best. And I'm sad that while I'm out here in Texas, I can't utilize the wonderful app that is Bet365 because, you got bowl games, you got Christmas Day football, you got Christmas Day basketball. There's all sorts of stuff going on. But if you are in one of the many states, including, of course, Colorado, where you can get in on Bet365, make sure you get over there. Use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and make a bet of $5. And as soon as that $5 bet settles, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets. So remember, whenever the moment is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Well done. I messed up too. I'm not in Colorado for like 2 weeks. So yeah.
You're not in Colorado for 2? Oh yeah. Wait, are you going back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not in Colorado for a long time either.
Yeah, I messed up. I should have hit up Bet365 before I left, but it is what it is.
I can't remember if I told this on the show. I think I did tell this on the show. The betting laws have a height. Like, you can't just wait until you're flying over a state that has legal sports gambling to post. And I thought you could. It feels like it makes sense. I literally was flying. I was like, all right, here we are. We're over. I don't even remember what place it was. I think it was like Ohio. I was like, we're over Ohio. I know they got it here. Didn't work.
It's not like being on the bus where, we go through, what was it, Kansas or whatever?
Yep.
Oh, man. Soon enough. Okay. You kind of lead me here with where you want to go at press conferences.
Yeah, I mean, I think since we were just talking about it, let's go and discuss the whole insurance thing. This stuff's a little bit over my head, as you can probably imagine. Neither of us are in the insurance industry. But from what I've gathered, it's different than the standard coverage that players get. And so let's play the 3-minute clip titled Clips from Yesterday 1, discussing what Coach Prime and Rick George and the rest of the team have provided for these guys.
You want to start off then?
There you go, Rick. You start it off.
No, I'm going to let the man start it off.
Yeah, Joe. Well, first and foremost, we're thankful, we're excited, we're elated to be here, and thank you all for attending as well. I wanted Rick to accompany me on this one because we have a tremendous announcement, not just that we're not excited, we're overexcited to be here and to be welcomed, to be received with open arms as we have, but we want to talk about something that has not transpired in the last probably 5 to 10 years in college football, with your star players not opting out of the game. I made a statement that our players would play the game, and Rick felt compassionate and wanted to double down on that, and I'll kind of let him explain why, and then I'll jump back in.
Well, appreciate that, Coach, and it's great to be in San Antonio and playing in the Alamo Bowl. We're excited about it. As Coach said, it was his idea, so let's be clear on that. It was his idea that we should get disability insurance for our student athletes for this game to ensure that they played if there was some kind of injury that they'd be well taken care of. And so we worked together on that. We're excited about it. We think it's great that all of our players are playing in the game, and that's what all bowl games should be like. And we're excited to be back in San Antonio, and really looking forward to the week, and I'll let Coach take it from there.
What that means is we have a multitude of players that are draftable, that they received the draft grade, and they have a disability. They've had it all season long, and we wanted to ensure that if something were to happen, that they would be covered. Now we happen to have two players that are probably going to be the first two picks of the NFL draft. I think we all know who those two are. And they have received, I think, the highest number of coverage that has ever been covered in college football.
That's correct.
That far exceeds anyone has ever played this game of college football. So we're happy and excited, but that's a just wonderful thought process for this wonderful university that we are attending, and we're just thankful that Rick, as well as administration at CU, has put his money where his mouth is.
Well, and let me just say one more thing, that it's really him. It was his idea. He felt it was important for our student athletes, to all of them, to play. He encouraged that. It's a testament to him getting out there in front of his guys and saying, we want you to play, and we did this because we want to make sure that these guys are covered. So we're excited about it, and it's going to be one heck of a game, and you're going to see everybody on our roster. So it's going to be a great game Saturday.
Awesome. Now Rick has 15 grandchildren that he's here with.
But I will stay for a few minutes because I want to hear what he has to say.
Oh man, those two are amazing.
Yeah, there is quite the group of the George family, if you will, here. But anyways, just great job by all involved, making sure obviously disability insurance protects you if you get hurt and you miss work. And so I was actually surprised to not hear any plugs involved there.
For real.
But I mean, for those guys to get the highest coverage of any players in college football history just shows basically the projections of where they could be drafted, and obviously how much money they're in line to make.
And how different they are as football players. I mean, let's be real. I mean, there's been quarterbacks who have kind of had the opportunity to opt out, who have played in bowl games and stuff like that. And I'm sure maybe they were covered too, but definitely not as much as this. And I wish I came up with this, but there's a big tweet on Twitter, just about this whole thing. And it said, a lot of coaches will tell you how much they care about you. Coach Prime shows you how much he cares about you. And I just absolutely love that because it hit the nail on the head.
It did. I saw that post right when it went out, and I was like, this is a great post. And then I looked at it this morning, it had 20,000 likes. So I was like, yep, deserved. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. There's this weird narrative out there that Coach Prime only cares about himself and his sons. And he consistently and definitively shows us that is not the case. And remember, it's not just Travis and Shedeur, it's all of the guys who are covered by this.
I mean, and how do you think guys in the portal who are they have 1 year left, considering, is Colorado a place I want to go to? I mean, not only are you going to be on the biggest stage, you're going to be taken care of if you show up and win like you're expected to in these situations like the bowl game. So this is game changing really for Colorado and the future of the program.
Yeah, and I think, just showing what the program and what this team is like under Coach Prime and the care that he has for them, but also, the care that he has for everyone who works in the building and how he wants his guys to conduct himself goes well into our next clip, which is number 2. It's just a quick one, but it's Coach Prime talking about a letter that he received yesterday.
received a letter this morning that had me during in tears, and it was from our Chef Carl, about how he's treated, how he's adored, what the feeling that our team and staff gives him, and how he can't wait to get to work every morning to prepare a meal, and the meal that he prepared today.
And that's just go ahead.
I didn't mean for that one to cut off so fast, but I remember a meeting when Coach Prime first got here, and he brought up a lot of the people that work in the building, and did not mince words about the level of respect that he expected every single player to show those people. And then, of course, there was another one where he brought up the women that work in the program and the level of respect he expects for them. And when any of this stuff happens, anytime Coach Prime does something that people can't hate on, the only thing that they can say is like, oh, of course there was a camera there for this. And they think that it's all just lip service for a show, for an act. And here we are 2 years later with Chef Carl Solomon, who was there before Coach Prime got there, sending him a letter thanking him for the reverence that he receives within the building and how much that makes him want to come to work. And you have to be, smart enough to connect those dots, but that is part of the standard. That is what Coach Prime expects from all of these guys. And so when we talk about the standard that he creates, or his desire to help boys become men in their life, this is the result of that. It doesn't always have to be about football. And oftentimes in college football, for most of these guys, it is not. But if you leave Colorado football as a better man, a better human, a better person, that is the type of stuff that Coach Prime cares about. And that's the type of stuff that when you go back and you talk to these players' parents, that is what they're going to say about, Coach Prime and about what it meant for them, for their son to come and play for Coach Prime. And for Chef Solomon to be so compelled to write a letter to Coach Prime, a person that he sees all the time, tells me that it really means a lot to him. And like many things with this, makes me proud that, Coach Prime is representing our football program.
Well said. I think it was our Thanksgiving pregame show when we had Chef Solomon on. I don't think he was saying he was going to leave, but he was talking about it was so bad at Colorado before Coach Prime. He was just kind of wondering, well, is there somewhere else I should be? Like, what's next? So, I mean, that just right there shows you the change that Coach Prime has shown in 2 years. I mean, the mood, just everyone in the building, it's like a full 180 from where they were 2 years ago. And it just shows the value of being valued, really. And the players and the support staff being shown that. It's kind of what I was talking about with at the beginning of the show. Everything's been taken to another level at Colorado, and it's real football school stuff to see. It's really cool to see because it's really just one big family. And as you said, a lot of people like to say it's for the cameras and all this, but you cannot underestimate the family atmosphere and the family vibe that is in the Champion Center in Boulder.
Amen. We can move on here into clips from today, and we'll circle back around to the last clip from yesterday at the end. Okay. But, again, just going into this coaching staff and how these players and what they mean to these guys. I asked BJ Green about it, and as I tweeted, he had a great answer, and, you'll see it in the full clip here. But I think that the real answer is in the first 2 seconds after I finished asking my question.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say about what this coaching staff has done for you?
I actually can't really put that into words, what they've done for me, just having that experience and that, just that care for, they genuinely want to see you succeed. So, just being able to talk with Coach Sapp every single day, being able to pick his brain, being able to talk to D-Lou, being able to talk to Dancy. I'm blessed to have 3 defensive line coaches I can get different opinions of because they're all extremely different. So it's just being able to pick those guys' brain and ask them different stuff every day and being able to adjust and perfect my game off of that is something that you can't replace. So you can't put a value on that.
There you go. That just deep breath and kind of looking off into the distance, it said it all to me. It's like he's so thankful for what these guys have done for him. And BJ Green was, a starter at a different Big 12 school and took the leap to come to Colorado and play for Coach Prime and play for that coaching staff. And I thought it was really cool to see him, talk about what that meant to him.
The coaching staff was world-class, man. I mean, that just shows it all right there. I mean, how much these guys, that experience that they have, the camaraderie that they have between themselves and that they show to the players, what it all means to them. I mean, don't forget, BJ Green played for Coach Prime, when he was in youth football too. So these relationships run deep, man. It's really just highlights how special of a thing that Colorado football has going right now.
Amen.
Let's take our next break.
Sure.
Okay. Next break. Shout out to the homies over at Elevations Credit Union with the sexiest credit card in world history. Correct?
Amen.
All right. The Go Buffs Visa Signature Rewards Card comes with all kinds of benefits for y'all. Head on over to buffscreditcard.com to apply, see full card benefits and details. But you get up to 3% cash back on CU tickets and merch. You get 2% cash back restaurants, gas, streaming, and phone plans. 1% cash back on daily spending. And then also the most important thing, I mean, they donate 2 cents per swipe to the CU student athletes through NIL so that you directly contribute to the success of Colorado football and Colorado athletics with the Go Buffs Visa Signature Rewards Card, the only official credit card of CU athletics, only at Elevations Credit Union. Again, visit buffscreditcard.com to apply and see full card benefits and details.
Also, shout out to Kers Lot. Really, all I can do here when you guys aren't around is just think of the good old days of when the boys were and gals.
The gang's all here.
Yeah, exactly. We're hanging out and sip a Coors Light. Just remember old good times. Shout out to Kers Lot. When you're looking to chill, there's nothing better to do than grab yourself an ice cold Kers Light. Make the most of the times you choose to chill. Choose Kers Light. Get Kers Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to kerslight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Kers Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
All right, what do we got next?
Yeah, let's hit the last couple here. Let's actually go to Micah Welch. Not a man of many words, but I asked him about what it just meant to him to have all of the players participating in this game. To you to have the whole team participating in this game?
No, it means a lot. Like, you see a lot of guys in college football opting out, but Coach Prime got a different standard. He wants everybody to play, and everybody is going to play, so that means a lot for me.
There you go.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Exactly. And this one's going to open up a slightly larger discussion, so let's get to it. It's Coach Hart talking about who is going to fill in for Nikai Hill-Green on Saturday. With Nikai not being out here, who are you looking to step up for you in the game?
Well, it's next man up. So, it's funny you say that because as soon as we got in practice in our meetings, they all were like chomping at the bit to see who was going to be the guy. And as you guys know, I keep it anonymous to them. They don't know because I want the competition to be high at practice and then let that play determine who starts for you. So as far as they know right now, they still don't know who it's going to be that's going to play, okay? But I'm looking at the competition. I'm grading the paper. I'm grading the grades from the film. And there's a couple that are pulling out in front that look pretty good to start the game.
Who's he talking about?
Well, I think there's a lot of potential guys who could jump in. But the first thing I want to talk about is why what is going on with the Coach Hart hate? It's actually gotten worse.
It makes no sense. I don't know. It all he's done is just bring in talent to the room in a room that was completely depleted, when he got here. So it makes no sense to me.
Like, this dude brought in Nikai Hill-Green and helped coach him to becoming, to the player that he was this season. I do not understand why that's being thrown like that didn't matter. When these guys got here, Colorado had players transferring to Austin Peay. Now you've got a linebacker transferring to Alabama, and of course we all wish that he didn't transfer. But it just shows the quality of player. He was at Charlotte last year. Comes to Colorado. Now he's going to Alabama. I think Coach Prime and Coach Hart did a great job with him, and I don't understand why it's being there's this narrative out there that Coach Hart is like bringing down the team.
I think that people just want to find something to complain about because there's not really much to complain about at this point. So you look at the biggest transfer out, and it now becomes one of the biggest holes on the roster, and that just becomes a point for people to pick at and just point fun at.
Very weird.
Who do you think it is, though? I mean, Jay West, JB is back, and then we got a bunch of guys who we haven't really seen. Young guys, Gage Goldberg, Trent Hood. Who do you think he's talking about?
If I had to guess, I think the two guys who that he kind of mentioned were leading would be JB and Jay West.
That's what I think too. I mean, with JB though, do you think that he could be a big contributor? Not really playing most of the season, really. I mean, in and out of the portal too. Jay West had that play in the UCF game. Nothing else really comes to mind. He's a younger player too, though. I'd imagine it'd be Jay West, if anyone, though.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter for Jalen Wester, because I think that he is a really, really talented player, and this guy. Has been with his brother through it all. Well, next year, LeJohntay is going to the league. And so Jalen, I think, is going to be starting a whole new chapter of his football career. I think he goes from I think he's going to take a lot of the lessons that he learned from LeJohntay about being a leader and about, being a football player, and he's going to have to apply them. And I think he's going to be prepared to do that. And I'm hoping that this game is kind of a stepping stone for him to step into the next chapter of his football career.
It's going to be a linebacker, right? But they have experimented with other guys there. Do you think, and this is just talking ball, but do you think we could see like Carter, like in a big dime package or something? Like, what do you think we see on Saturday?
Yeah, I do think you could see Carter move in there. I think you could see, a couple different safeties get time. That's the thing about these bowl games. Like, I think there is a balance. Obviously, goal number one is win the game. But I think goal number two is find out a little bit about what you have in guys that you're going to have on this team next year that maybe didn't get as much playing time as you would have wanted for them this year. So I think that you're going to see a couple different, I think you're going to see Gage Goldberg play in the game. And so, I think you're going to see a couple different looks, a couple different opportunities for guys. And, it might be one of those things where you put in a guy. Jacob Polite just mentioned Brendan Gant. I think that there's a, potential where you put guys in and just say like, hey, go make us play. And if they go out there and they do their assignment and they make a play, like they stay out there. If not, then they come out. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. Remember Coach Prime started a dude against Utah last year who hadn't played much during the season.
Oh, gosh, I can't remember. At linebacker?
Yes, a linebacker.
I can't remember.
But, that guys are going to get an opportunity to go out there and make a play and legitimately stay around.
I think you're right. I'd love to see Carter just in a larger role in general. Because he's going to be a big piece of this team moving forward. But I'd throw the new guys in there, or the young guys in there, give them a taste, just see what they have. I mean, this is kind of what bowl games are for. We talk about what bowl games used to be, too. Used to be a big spot for young guys to really just come in and kind of prove themselves, not in a meaningless game, but, just in an ideal setting for the future to prove themselves and just show what they got.
Amen.
All right, what else do we got?
I think the last clip we have here is, makes sense right now talking about the future. But it is Charlie and Ben talking about the early enrollees who have stood out to them.
Charlie, you mentioned some of the freshmen being here. For either of you, has anyone stood out to you so far?
I'm still trying to learn their names right now, but there's definitely some. I think it was a outside backer D lineman that was putting in work. So I don't know.
Yeah, Alex McPherson. He's from Florida. He was setting the tone early yesterday, and I hosted him on a visit. Got him flipped, so just chill stuff. Yeah, so he. It seems he's already learning from me. I guess so. But no, just kidding. He's doing a great job, and he's a great kid. So he's gonna be fun to watch. And he's already been fun to watch in practice. So
Thank you all. Welcome here.
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bro, Ben is the GOAT.
Yeah. He last night after the pressers, I was clipping some stuff, putting it out, sitting in the bar, and Ben. So like it's kind of like a 3-tiered lobby. So like up where the players were eating dinner looks down over the bar, which looks down over like this like pool area or pond area, and I just like hear my name. I'm like, I don't think I actually hear my name. Then I hear my name again. I look up, and Ben's recording me from above. And he's like, RK, you're my hero. I said, no, you are. Thank you for bringing us Alexander McPherson. He's like, I got you.
What a legend. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it feels like he's made a big first impression. Chauncey Gooden has made a big first impression. All of these guys, getting just completely invaluable experience with this team, preparing for a bowl game, all of it. But I think I admitted it on our little Alex McPherson breakdown video. The way that we did those videos is we watched the film right before we played it and then talked over it. So we would see it and then see it a second time. And since he was the last one to commit before we made those videos, I had not seen that yet. He committed, I think, on like Friday or Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, right? Mm-hmm. And then we talked about him a couple of days later. I hadn't seen it. When I saw that film, I was blown away, and I think we all were just like, "Oh, this dude is serious." And no matter who or what or where you see it, you always wonder, are you going to be able to bring it to the next level? And for him to already be standing out like that to guys like Ben and Charlie, and also to the coaches, is an incredibly encouraging sign.
You're right. When we did that like recruiting profile on him, that was an eye opener. The well-off video the other day was an eye opener, but not just because of the play and everyone giving him praise and all that. It was how big he looked amongst like everyone else. Like this guy is 17, 18 years old, and he is already just a monster in comparison to a lot of the guys who are already on the team. So yeah, definitely a guy to watch. And they're not even all here yet. I mean, wait till Quentin Gibson shows up, wait till, Juju's hand is fully healed. Like it just really feels like this is going to be a truly special recruiting class for Colorado that can set the tone.
Amen. Yep. I think some of the freshmen from last year are included in this. But beyond that, I think that these guys this year are going to be kind of remembered as the beginning of the next chapter.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else?
That's it.
Cool. Well, we talked some transfer stuff. We talked CFP yesterday. We talked Travis and Shedeur at the basketball game on Saturday. Is there anything else you want to hit on before we get to questions? We did get a commitment yesterday from another offensive lineman.
Absolutely. I mean, nice to see another addition into the trenches there, giving them more options moving forward. Travis and Shedeur at the basketball game was legitimately like I felt like it was an alternate universe.
For real.
The full uniform just had me cracking up. And I mean, the whole world got to see Travis Hunter's just ridiculous athletic ability. If sometimes it just puts it into perspective to see it in a different sport. Him being able to, under the legs dunk like that, and all of the other just floating he was doing there. And then the half court Steph Curry look away. And I think that Shedeur said it best in that moment. He's like, man, every time the lights come on, this dude does something crazy. And it's just a perfect way of putting it.
One-on-one stuff, man. Anything else before you want to get to questions?
Let's do it. Let's get to questions.
All right. What do we got, Alyssa? King Mars is asking what food you had.
So yesterday for lunch, I went to a place called Texas Sizzle that had good reviews. And I did what I normally do. The people, by the way, there's 2 people working there, both super nice, tiny little hole in the wall shop. And I was just like, what should I get? And they both said I should get the Texas cheesesteak. So I got that. It was delicious. Like jalapenos and all sorts of good stuff on there. And then last night I was just walking around. I ended up going to a place called Domingo and legitimately had some of the better enchiladas I've ever had. They were branded as like green chili enchiladas, which I've come to learn, like if you're not in Colorado or Texas, you're not getting, Colorado or New Mexico, you're not getting actual green chili. Mm-hmm. So it's usually just green salsa. But I was down for that. And it was like a tomatillo salsa on top of some unreal chicken enchiladas.
My brother was telling me about a place. He said he DM'd you about it.
Yep.
So I get in, I think, earlier before everyone else on Thursday. So let's go hit something up.
Sounds great.
DST says, how's the weather packing tonight?
Oh, actually, I'm just seeing some blue in the sky for the first time today. It's been very overcast, but it is also 78 degrees, which is crazy. It was actually pretty chilly out at practice today because the sun hadn't really broken through the clouds at all. But yeah, 78 looks like a little chance of showers later. Tomorrow, 72 with a chance of showers. Thursday, 76. And then Friday and Saturday, I mean, the 2 big days when the most people are going to be here. 79 and sunny, 79 and sunny.
Coming from 30s and 40s, I cannot wait, bro.
Yeah, it's nice. And, like, even just looking outside today, I was like, man, it's going to be cold out there because it's just completely overcast, kind of foggy. Mm-hmm. I, like, put on a hoodie, walked outside, and was like, oh, don't need this.
Damn. Can't wait. MLN says, think Cash Cleveland is going to get a scholarship, and how great is it that Tay is rocking that number 1 jersey? Yes, shout out to LeJohn Tay.
Bro, love to see that. First thing I saw when I walked up to practice today, it's like they had like one of those screens over the fence, but you can still see through it. And as I was walking up, I just saw number 1 wide receiver lined up in the slot. I was like, oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm predicting another punt return touchdown now that we get number 1.
Need it. Do you think Cash Cleveland is going to get a scholarship? Maybe.
Yes.
We'll see. They should have extras from rolling over from last year, right?
Yep. I'm pretty confident that'll happen.
There you go. MLN again, do we make anything about Marshall Falk being around the program? Could he be joining staff? He'd be an incredible addition.
Another gold jacket. How's that sound?
Be pretty, running back has been a position where we've needed help. Why not just bring a gold jacket in there to attract the best ones in the country here?
Yeah, sign me up for that.
What else we got? King Mars. Can Keaton Wade move there to off-ball linebacker, I'm assuming? I think he has played some there. I don't know for sure, though. I'll look it up real quick.
He's been so good in pass rush situations. I think it would be tough to move him there. I think he's shown enough as an outside linebacker to stay.
So I can't really tell, actually. I think I remember when he was coming in, though, he was kind of billed as like a off-on type guy, versatile. So
Yep.
Next, we've got RJ. Any chance Goldberg gets some run this weekend?
I think so. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I think that there's a decent chance that he does play.
That'd be dope.
And I didn't realize this, but Goldberg, the OG, lives out here in San Antonio. So all of the like local media today was interviewing him, asking about how cool it was to have Gage come down for this game, and all of the media here loves him. They're just like, oh, he's the best. Like when he walked by, they're like, he's the best, man. He's always so great. So that was funny to see.
He's a ball of energy at the sidelines of Folsom before the game. I mean, he is getting Jordan Seaton hyped. He is just, he's just ready for. It's like he's going to put on a helmet and get out there and play. But on Gage, let's just hope we get BTA and we just get all the freshmen out there.
That would be great. Also, I mentioned the local media, so I have to give them a shout out. I wish I knew the name of the guy who helped me out, but I was, everyone was setting up their cameras like they do, and I was like, hey, like I'm gonna try to get as close as I possibly can, without getting in your guys' shot, so because I don't have like any good equipment with me for audio and whatnot. And right away, the guy's like, oh, I have some extra wireless mics. Like, do you want to use them? So he hooked me up, which was pretty cool, which is why if you go and watch any of the pressers from today, you'll hear great audio from the players and coaches who spoke. So I appreciate that.
Shout out to the San Antonio media. Sandmed says, any thoughts if the game will sell out? I saw that the CU allotment of tickets were close to being sold out, if not sold out already, but that's all I saw.
Yeah, I think that part is sold out. I talked to someone yesterday about that, and it sounded like that the CU allotment is sold out. I have no idea on the actual game itself. Usually, like, we get that information from CU because we know the people, but we obviously don't know who's in charge of tickets around here.
I'm sure Buff Nation is going to turn up, though. I'd be surprised if a Colorado game coached by Coach Prime in Texas isn't have large representation from Buff Nation.
Yeah, there's going to be tons of Buffs, and then BYU truly prides themselves upon traveling well and having fans all over the country. I think there's like a kind of like unspoken agreement that if you're Mormon, you pull for BYU. And so I think they'll have extra support as well. But I tweeted this out yesterday, and I was so when I went to one restaurant, I was talking to the people there, and then when I went to the bar later, one of the guys was telling me, he's like, yeah, like a lot of the local businesses are worried that they're going to lose out because BYU fans don't drink. And I was like, all right, well, I'll make sure Buff Nation does enough partying for both of us.
We'll do just fine out there. We'll make Colorado proud.
But then a lot of people started jumping in saying like, nah, BYU fans low-key party. So we'll be the judge of that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We will find out. Moni asks, is Bentley playing? I don't see why he wouldn't.
All right.
Anything else? BP, a lot of family of players there?
Yeah, a lot of family of everyone, which is pretty cool to see. You just walk into the team hotel and there's just dozens of people wearing Colorado gear that, whether I know them or not, are clearly, part of the family that is Colorado football. But it's, you're seeing people wear their kids' jerseys and all that stuff. I think that there'll probably be even more as the week rolls on. Maybe not everyone was able to make it out before Christmas. But I bet you Thursday and Friday you'll see just even more family of players rolling.
Yeah, I'm sure it's only going to get better out there. All right. Super chats. S. Williams says, RK, I thought it was get it out of the way type of question. The answer Coach Prime gave is exactly what people should want to hear. Let's get this dub.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I talked about it off the top. I've seen other people come in here asking about it. So if you want to go hear what I had to say about it, but I mean, you hit it on the head. I certainly wasn't trying to fish for anything or dig or whatever. Like, if I was, I wouldn't have phrased my question that way. Like, I tried to be very, vague.
Delicate.
I would say. Yes, exactly.
Great super chat. Thank you for that. East Coast Kev says, our guy, I'm just stopping by. Everyone have a safe and blessed holiday. Thank you, Kev. Same to you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, happy holidays to everyone. It is so weird, man. It does not feel like Christmas to me. Obviously, I'm not with my family, so that makes a big difference. But, like, even the media here was like, I asked them, I said, hey, what's a good place I can go for dinner that'll be open tonight? And they're like, open tonight? I was like, yeah, because it's Christmas Eve. And they were like, oh, yeah. So, I don't know. There's, like, very little Christmas spirit around these parts, except for on the Riverwalk where they have a beautiful lights display. And there was tons of people down there last night. I assume everyone who just, like, has family in town was like, oh, we got to go see the lights on the Riverwalk. So it was hot.
Well, what's your plan then? What are you doing tonight?
I just right before we got on, I made a reservation for dinner, so I'm gonna hit up Unc and see if he wants to roll out, and we'll have a very we'll have a Christmas for our own little family.
I love it. Appreciate the sacrifice for you going out there early to deliver all this content, go to practice, all that stuff. Rest of the crew will be out there Thursday. But yeah, tell Unc I said what's up.
Absolutely, I will, and we'll miss you out here, but we'll see you soon. And appreciate everyone who has had my back in the comments today. I love you guys.
All right, chat. We will be back on Thursday live from San Antonio. We hope you all have a Merry Christmas. See you then. Let's go Buffs.
Love you guys. Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.